Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Liminal Industries, the series where we are stuck in the backrooms and trying to escape. As you can see, I am surrounded by plushies. Now, I'm not really sure when they got added into the game, but I apparently was missing some updates. And once I updated the mod pack, they just were there. I opened my quest book and there were tons of quests that I had to complete again. One being, for example, the Nether quest. I had to come claim this plushie reward. So throughout all of the different quests, I guess, there were plushies as rewards that I guess just weren't in the game yet until I updated it. So now that it's updated, we have a bunch of friends for Mr. Wubbins the Potato. But that is not why you are here. The reason you are here today is because this is finally the secret project episode. For those of you who have been watching the series, you might know that I have been working on a secret project behind the scenes for the past couple of weeks. It's been 4 or 5 weeks. And now we are finally to the point where I can make this secret project known. We finally have all of the proper blocks and all of the proper materials to put this secret project into action. So, let's get right on into it. As you know, in the past couple of episodes, I've been working towards getting the phytogenic insulator, and I have been trying to get all of the different saplings purely because the secret project that I'm working on takes a great amount of wood to be built. It takes a lot of wood, and you guys will get to see why as soon as it comes to fruition. So we can finally get to building the secret project now that I have the phytogenic insulator. I have been working to get some wood, but I still need more. I need some mangrove, I need some birch, I need some oak. So while I am chopping that up, you guys are gonna go on a trip into the past to see kind of where I've been, what I've been working on, the journey up until now, basically. Which starts with finding the location. Way back in episode 9, I was hunting for where I could build this secret project. I wasn't quite sure where it could go because I would need a lot of space for it. It is a pretty big build, and it's for a very important thing, but we will get into that in a little bit. So, let me take you back to when I was hunting for the spot for our secret project. Take it away, past me. Welcome to the secret project. Today is finally the day. I don't know how long it's taken because I am just at the beginning of starting this project, but I know that this is going to take a little while because this is going to be a huge project and it'll take a bit, and I've probably alluded to it the past couple of weeks, but I have finally finished it, hence why you're watching this now. Now, from my point of view, I haven't even started it yet. I'm only just now getting ready for it and just now thinking it up. This is immediately after episode 9, just so you guys are caught up with where I am. But this is the beginning of the secret project. Now, for this secret project, the first thing I need to do is get a portal. I need to make another portal and connect it up to the portal that I have in my base. That way, I can get back and forth between the two different projects. Now, what am I making? That is the question. I am creating none other than something very, very similar to the stack of planes in the Bermuda Triangle in the movie Hotel Transylvania 3. Hopefully I'm showing a clip or a picture or something of it right now, but basically I'm recreating that, but in the backrooms. And the reason why is because I am going to be automating or getting ready to automate the forged eye. Now, the way I make this is I need 100 steel and 100 100 times 1,000 millibuckets of beer. So I need to automate beer. Now, I thought it would be fun to basically create a stack of like old pirate ships to modern day boats, all kind of stacked up on top of each other. And that's going to be the area where I automate the creation of the beer. Now, I have never done anything this big, so that's why I have no idea how long it's going to take me. Hence why this is a secret project, or has been up until now, just because I don't know how long this is going to take me. This could have come out in 2 weeks from when I'm recording this part right here, or this could come out in like 5 weeks. I really hope not, but who knows how long this is going to take. Now, what am I going to be doing? Well, I just said I'm going to be doing the stack of boats, but the reason why is because at first I just wanted to do like a little barge and find an area and fill it with water and put a barge on top. But then I thought, well, just filling an area with water and putting a boat on top, that's kind of lame. How about we liminalize this or backroomsify it? So I thought, well, what if there's a place in the overworld? This is kind of like the lore of this cool build I'm making, and you should appreciate this lore. Anyways, so the lore is there's some place in the overworld where boats no clip easier than anywhere else in the ocean, similar to like something like the Bermuda Triangle. And basically, I'm going to be making my automated section within the boats that have no clipped, and since they all no clip in the same place, they just fall on top of each other. So I'm going to make an area that's like a dried out ocean bed with a bunch of boats stacked on top of each other. And I'm hoping that it'll look really cool. But I have no idea. So only time will tell. But let's just get right on into it. As you saw, I've been collecting the obsidian, and I said I'm using this for the portal. So even though this is immediately after episode 9, all I have so far is my forge and my house. I haven't even built the second floor yet, which should hopefully be done in episode 10. I don't know if it was or not. But I have rebuilt the nether portal, and all I need to do is go to the place where I want to build my stack of boats, build this project, and I need to create another nether portal. Then I need to get the coordinates of both, and I can find them through the nether, and that's how we're going to get back and forth really, really quickly. So now that I have the blocks, which that was very dangerous of me to make it that way. I had to make it this way simply because I didn't really know. I don't have a whatever it's called, a fluid drain. Drain? No, that's not what it's called. At Create. Spout. I don't have a spout, so I was just making it come out in source blocks there and then picking it up. But yes, first things first, now that I have the obsidian, I need to find out the coordinates of these two different portals and then link them up. So let's get right on into that. Alrighty, you may recognize where we are, but I have arrived, and I think this area is going to be a perfect area to build this project. Now, I need to find a hole similar to this, but one without a giant column in the middle. And I think there should be one around here somewhere. I just need to find it.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, we have come across an area that is pretty open. There is a pillar over there, but I think we'll focus on what is right here. I think this might be our area, which means I can now set up the portal on this side of the back room. So we'll probably just put it, I don't know, maybe over here. Yeah, that works. Perfect. Okay, and then we can light it and travel through. And as you can see, we are in a whole new section of the library, which means all I have to do is put in my coordinates. So F3, the coordinates here are 178. And then we just have to continue marking this way. And just go this direction until we get back to 125, which it looks like it's not too far. It looks like it might. So 125 right here, and then 125 this way. So we have to go this way. Oh, and here it is. Wow, that's actually really close. Okay, so now I just follow the cobblestone, and it'll take me, let me break this one so I don't get confused. It'll take me over here to the other portal right there. So we are pretty dang close, actually. Awesome sauce. So when I come in here, we'll be over at the secret project area. And if I go into the other portal, it will take us back home. So that is how we will quick travel back and forth here. So I'm going to fill this area in and make it kind of look like a dead seabed in a way. And then on top of that is where we will build the stacks of boats. And it'll look hopefully pretty good. I'm not sure. We'll see. Only time will tell. But we will definitely get right on into that. So let's... Oh, hello there. That's fun. Wait, if I swap armor... I guess not. I guess it looked like I was different, but maybe not. Anyways, so yes, I need to go get blocks, and then we can start creating the bottom of this. I have somewhat of an idea in my head, but yeah, it's gonna be a test, a real test on my part, because I'm not a builder. I don't consider myself a builder or a redstoner or a PvPer, so I really don't know what my skills are when it comes to Minecraft, but we can get right on into getting the pieces, getting the blocks necessary to build this seabed. So let's get right on into that. Well, that was 4 weeks ago. So I have been spending a majority of the time when it comes to the secret project in another world building what this secret project is. And the reason why is because I wanted to kind of use this whole project to try out a new to me, it's not a new thing, but a new kind of create thing. And that is the schematic cannon. I want to try this baby out. So I have been creating the build in another world, and then I schematicized it. If you want to learn how to do that, you should probably look up on YouTube, because someone else would explain it way better than I would. But yes, I got that. So now we just need to make the schematic cannon, upload the build into our world, and then I can start setting up with what we are going to be doing. So let me first get right on into making the schematic cannon. Let's see here. I moved iron up here simply because now I have, for context of where we are at this point in the creation of this behind the scenes video, I just built the iron farm in the Nether. So we have tons of iron. So I don't need to worry about iron anymore. There we go. Now I can make... No, I cannot, because I have not smooth stonified these. My bad. So for right now, what I'm going to be doing is all I need to be doing is getting these pieces. Clipboard. There we go. So what I need to do with these things is I need to place down the schematic cannon. I can place down my schematic from the schematic table, and then I can get the parts. But right now, I'm not going to be getting the parts. That's going to be in the next clip that you guys see. right now, I actually need to get this thing oriented and then take a bunch of cobblestone and build a massive box. And that sounds stupid, but the reason why is because the way that the lights work in this game, these lights up here, is they emit light particles all the way down. And so when I tested the uploading of the schematic in my creative world, the lights actually act as blocks, but they're invisible blocks. So when I upload the schematic and as it's building, there's just these like holes that go all the way through the build from top to bottom because of these lights. So the way I get rid of that is I need to basically build wherever these light blocks are up to the top of where my build is going to be. And then I can go get all of the parts for the build. So let's go fill in that hole. Well, as you can see, this monstrosity behind me is all of the cobblestone blocking the light particle block thingamajigs, the invisible light particle blocks. Now, the reason why I did this is because, as I said before, each of these columns were invisible lights, or invisible light particle blocks. So on my test world, whenever I would place the schematic, it would have holes, just empty holes all the way up through the build wherever there was a light source. So I had to place all of this to ensure that once I place my build, there won't be a bunch of lines. Now, as you can see, I got lazy a couple of times, multiple times, because I was just going to build a full box all the way up. Then I got too lazy and bored. And so instead, I was just going to do the pillars from front to back, as you can see here. But again, I got bored and lazy. And so after a couple of hours, and with the help of the caretaker, I was able to finish this. I just had the schematics and I would hold them out. And I have built cobblestone up to the points where the light blocks would actually affect the build itself. So all of this is in the area of the schematic, but it's not actually a block. Only where the beams are blocks and such. So with that, now I just have to take this all down. Yay. But then all that's left is getting the materials. So in the next clip that I'm going to cut to, hopefully by then, I will have the phytogenic insulator. And the reason why I need it is because this build has a lot of wood in it. And it's not just bamboo, it's like actual wood. So hopefully by the next episode for me, because I just did episode 12, I believe, the iron farm. So hopefully for the next episode, I will get the phytogenic insulator, machinamajig. What's it called? Insulator. It is insulator. I thought I was going crazy. But hopefully I can get that. And then, and then we can start building this project. I would have to get all of the materials and then we can build this project. Great Scott. Which brings us back to today. Now that we have everything complete, we have the phytogenic insulator, we have this whole area where we blocked off all the light sources. Now I can upload the schematic into the schematic cannon and get a clipboard that'll tell me all the materials I need for this build. It's as simple as doing this and this. This is the schematic. If I can come to here, if I can come to this schematic cannon here, I'm going to have my back to the project just so you guys can't see it. If I put this right here, then I can put this up here, and we have a full material checklist. It's ready to start. As you can see right there, it is ready to start. But now we have a full material checklist with every single item I am going to need. And as you can see, there are quite a lot of items. I mean, storage drawer right there. As you can see, all of these Ugh, there's going to be a lot. Oh, yeah. Like right here, for instance, I need 232 oak slabs. So that's 3 stacks and 40 on the side. This is really cool. This is a really helpful kind of thing that the Create mod gives you, where it tells you not just how many here overall, but also tells you the stack plus extra side. So like if we go down to spruce planks, I need 3 stacks and 28 blocks of spruce planks. So it's time to get the materials. We need all of the materials on this list and a bunch of gunpowder. Because the way this works is one singular gunpowder shoots, I believe, 400 shots. But as you could see, we have way more than 400 blocks. So yeah, we're going to need lots of gunpowder and lots of blocks. So let's just get started with, I guess, the easiest parts, which would be the wood. So let's go and do this. Let's go chop down all these trees and make all of these different blocks, and then we can build the secret project, aka the ship stack. Now, as you can see, I've been farming a good amount of wood already, but that's just because I knew I needed a lot of these beforehand, so I may not have enough, but I have a great amount. I think we need more birch, more oak, and then more mangrove. So let me just start creating each of those. Obviously, the oak is going to be the easiest, so we want to start there. I need my bone meal. We can grow each of these trees individually, and then if I chop these bottom logs, then when I grow this final log here, it'll cut down the whole tree, like so. There we go, and now we get all this wood. Beautiful. I'm really liking this sawmill system. It's so much fun. We can also do a similar thing if we start bone mealing the birch trees. There we go. And then chop down the bottom 3 of these. And bone meal this last guy. There we go. Lots of birch as well. Now, we actually didn't get any birch saplings back, which is unfortunate. But I can still just continue here with the oak. Oh, and any more bone meal. But yeah, I'm just going to continue with this until we have a good amount of all of the different kinds of woods we need. I'll probably come back for the mangrove just because the mangrove tree is a little bit different, as you may know. But I'm going to keep chopping down these trees until we have a good amount of both oak and birch, and then I'll come back for the mangrove. Now, obviously, it's probably a lot more efficient if I use a circular spinning saw farm, but I don't really want to make one of those right now, so instead, I'm just going to keep doing it this way. But we are now to the mangrove trees, which are different. They are very different. As you can see, these make very interesting shapes. You can't just simply cut it down here. Instead, I have to basically break these bottom blocks and rebuild this structure up top instead. So let's build up real quick. There's that guy. We can swap you around like so. And then just do that. And there we go. It's just a couple more steps, but it is very helpful to have this mechanical saw versus having to break it all myself. Now, I'm going to be getting these mangrove logs. I have a couple already. I don't actually think I need that many of the mangrove logs, but what I am going to need a lot of, we actually have some right here, I just noticed, are vines. Vines come from the mangrove logs, and vines can be used for a couple of different things. A decoration aesthetic, but I can also use them to get mossy cobblestone. I can also get lily pads from the mana infusion, and then lily pads can go back into vines, and so on and so forth, and I can just grow more of it. So I want to get some of these vines using some shears. I should have shears somewhere. And then we can cut these shears and grow them. Here we are. Here's 4. Then I can take my bone meal here. And if we just come place these, we'll do it over here. If we just come place these and bone meal it. Oh, can you not bone meal it? That's unfortunate. But as they're hanging here, they should come down more and we'll just continuously shear them. And if that doesn't seem to work too fast, then I will get more from the mangrove logs. So I'll just have to start growing these more. But for now, I think that should be it for the mangrove logs, so we can let those start to hang, and now we can get into actually creating all of the necessary blocks. So let me bring this down here, and we will just start on this. So let's see, what can we start with? Mangrove. We'll just start with the mangrove since we're on that topic. We'll need a stack and about a half of mangrove planks, and then some slabs and some stairs. So, if I throw these in here, I can transform them all. I need a stack and 23? 23, I think it said. A stack and 23, so here's that. I can mark it off checklisted. And then 26 slabs. There's 24, and I can do that to get 30, which is more than enough. So there's our slabs, and then 4 stairs, which is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There's 4 stairs. So now we are completely done with our mangrove. Perfect. So now I can mark this one off the list as well. There we go. There's our mangrove. And now we need to get to our oak. So we just need to get a good amount of oak. But first, I think I'm going to take a stack of this and then make these into chests to hold all of the items we're going to need. So let me come get my mangrove back out. I didn't mean to take all that. So we'll need a stack and a half. 23, right? Stack and 23, okay. Now I can put the remaining 41 back. And then we can just come put these in there. Perfect. Next is the oak. So I just need to do this with all of the different kinds of woods we're going to need. And then from there we can just continuously, I guess, just keep at it. Keep at it until I have all the blocks. So let's just zoom through this. And here's our oak done. That's our last 28 oak trapdoors. So there's all of the oak items we need out of the way. Next is, let's see, spruce. We can go on to spruce. Spruce we actually need logs for, and fences, and planks, and slabs, and lots of stairs. So yes, we do need a lot more spruce. Thankfully, I have created a lot more spruce, a great amount of spruce. So now that we have mangrove and oak done, let's get into the spruce. And with that, we've got spruce out of the way, which means all that is left, I believe, is the dark oak. So let's see, we have all our spruce. We're going to need to get, we're going to have to get warped. I forgot about that. That's going to be fun. You guys are going to like that. Let's see. There's our oak, and then there's our mangrove, which means all that is left is dark oak. Here we are. And then after that, I will get into all of the wood blocks, like the water wheels, cogs, ladders, kegs, all of those. But first, let's get rid of all the dark stuff. And there's all of our dark oak. Perfect. Which means all that is left is all of the wooden kind of objects that we will require. Such as, let's see, what can we do first? Cogwheels. Cogwheels are easy. We actually have a good amount of those already. So there's 15 of those checked off. And then large cogwheels. Down here, we need 9 of those. There's 9 of those. And then large water wheels, which we have 7. We need 9. Oh, we need 11. We need 11 large cogwheels, which is... What's a cogwheel again? Oh, that's right. It's the large water wheel segments. We need steel. I think one of these makes one large wheel, so we need more of these. We're at 8. It's these guys. We can go all the way around there. Take one of these, and there is our 11 water wheels. Our next wooden item is levers. 18 levers. 18 of those. And 18 of these, I believe. Is that how you make a lever? There we go. So there's 18 levers. Complete. Next is stairs, or ladders, which is 26. So that means we need lots of sticks. Then we can just simply do this. We need 26, so we're going to need a bit more wood. 27, perfect. There's that. We can throw those in there. Next is the item frame. How do we make an item frame? Ooh, cardboard. I have cardboard. 1 cardboard with some sticks. There's that. That was up here. There's our 1 item frame. Now we need 12 kegs. 12 kegs. Let's see. Keg. Kegs can be used with glue, iron, and treated wood planks. Here's our planks. We need 12, so 12 of those, and then just some of that. Clear out this keg. There's our... Oh, boy. Kegs are... They take up a lot of space, don't they? So there's 9. 9, which means we need 3 more. I need to just grab some iron. And here's our last 3 kegs. Perfect. So now we can mark 12 kegs off the list. Right there. Let's see, what else is wood? Light. Ugh, the light. That's what I'm afraid of. So the light. Interesting. Okay. I don't know how I can get rid of the light. I'm not really sure how we'll do that. That'll be interesting. Yeah. That's there. Okay. Well, we'll just pass that. We'll skip that. Let's see. We need a loom. How do I make a loom? I really hope the light doesn't mess up the build. If it does, we'll just have to, I guess, build it all by hand. But if I can schematic this, I think that would be so cool because that's just what we're going for. There's our loom. We can check mark that. We need nether brick fence. Oh, and I forgot to get a oak button, which is pretty simple. That's just 6 pieces of oak. There's that. So we can just throw these in here. There we go. Oak's done. Nether brick. That's fairly simple. Is it fairly simple? How do I make a nether brick fence? Not crimson. I need nether brick. Oh, interesting. So we need how many fences? So that makes 6. How many do we need? We need 5. Okay, so I just need 2 more of these. Make those the blocks, and then 2 more of those. So this and this. There's our 6 nether fences. There we go. I can throw those in there. What's next? We can do a millstone. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. Beautiful. I can throw these in here then. There's those off the list. Let's see. I didn't forget mangrove stairs. Next we can do... Do I have any orange neon lights left? Here's one. Oh, tell me I have one more somewhere. I could just steal one of these, and I will replace that one day in the future. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Just because I don't want to go through all that right now. So there's that. Let's see, a piston. Piston's easy. One of these. Wait, how do I make piston? I thought I knew how to make a piston. Let's see. Oh, I'm missing an iron ingot. Whoops. There we go. There's one piston. Perfect. Throw that in there. We can cross that off. No, not you. Piston. Okay. Any other wood? Rails. We can make rails. Rails are like this, yes? 16. I don't think I need that many. Just 4, but there's our rails. Okay. Red banners. How do we make banners? Red banner is simply a stick and 6 wool, which we have tons of string. String gets turned into wool. Beautiful. So while these are growing so I can get more red wool, I can make even more red wool because I think I need red wool, or I think I need wool for something else as well. So let's see, while we wait on that, do we have anything else we need to use wool for? Yeah, we need lots of white wool and white carpet, which means lots of string. There we go. That should be the rest of our wool. Which if we check our checklist, we're supposed to have 51. 51, perfect. Chain. Chain is fairly easy. We need a singular block with 2 iron like so. We could do 1 like that. And then this and that. There's an anchor. I need a hook. So there's our anchor. A hook, I assume, is probably similar to the anchor, but you do 3. No, how do I make a hook? A hook is 2, like so. So there's our hook. And then we need the large chains, 7. And we have 10. So perfect. There's our large chains. So there's that out of the way. 1, 2, and 3. How many of those did we need? We need 27, so 1, 2 of those. The iron gate is pretty easy to make. How many do we need of those? 13, so we'll need 14. There's 14. Perfect. So there's our iron bars and gate. We can throw these in here. 14. There we go. There's our trapdoors. And 28 out of 25. Perfect. There's that. Oxidized copper. Oof, that's going to be fun. That means we need a lot of copper blocks. So let's go over to our farm, our copper farm over here, and then we can turn those into copper blocks and then have them start oxidizing. That's going to take a little bit, but that's okay. So I think the way this works is you just do this, and then they will slowly oxidize. Well, as you can see, our copper expansion is... that's a lot of copper. And now we have to wait for all of this to basically become oxidized, which I don't know how long that's going to take, but I have a feeling it's going to take a while. So we can just kind of go past this and continue on with whatever's next. Like quartz. What's with our quartz? We can do quartz real easy. Except for we don't have a lot of quartz. So I guess we have to go get a lot of quartz now. Oh boy. And now we have a lot of quartz. Perfect. So first things first, quartz bricks. Ooh. So there's the bricks. 6, 7. There's our 14 of those. 64 exactly. And then 17 quartz stairs. There's 17 quartz stairs. Sweet. Okay. Now, oh, it does look like we need quite a bit of birch. I forgot to do the birch. Whoops-a-daisy. Well then, let's get into birch. But first, let's take a squeak break. That is annoyingly satisfying. Alrighty, back to birch. And birch is complete. Along with acacia. And since we're on the topic of wood, I think we should take care of the warped wood, which means we need to take an encased fan, make some soul sand, and then take a mushroom to turn it into a warped fungus. And that is how we get the trees. So 1 gravel for our sand, and 24 more gravel to complete this item. Crush down this gravel, and throw the sand in front of this thing, which should turn it into soul sand, hopefully. Ah, there we go. Now I just have to put the soul sand down, put a fan right here down, so I think we can do that right here, and then take out this piece here, soul sand. We just need to connect it up. So 1 piece there, 1 piece there, and 1 piece there. Now it is blowing perfect. We can put that there. And now I just need to light it. There we go. And then I just need a mushroom, which we just throw down, and we get a warped fungus. Beautiful. Perfect. So now I should be able to just come place this right here, because it is a tree. And then hopefully we can bone meal this. We'll see. I can't bone meal it. Oh no.
A few moments later.
Unfortunately, we can't grow the warped fungus yet because you need nylium, which you can only make with a metallurgic infuser, meaning we need osmium. And there's not really a way to get osmium that I can find yet. So we're just gonna have to skip this part until later, which is unfortunate. But the good news is it was very minor, just some buttons and extra details. So not a major part of the build, just more side pieces, of course. So instead, let's take all of that copper out of there. I'm too lazy to wait for it. So instead, I'm just going to make everything we need and then let those pieces oxidize instead of making the blocks themselves oxidize. That can also help save some resources by me not making too many of like a certain oxidized piece and just have the set amount of oxidized pieces oxidizing. So let's go pick up all of that and then I will transform them into the blocks they need, such as the cut stairs and all of that. We can just have these oxidize by themselves. So let's go get that. Or rather, do that. Let's go do that. Perfect. Now I can take all of this copper, come into here. We know we need 77 oxidized copper, so that's 1 stack and 13. So I can take 1 stack of this exposed copper and another 13, and these I will replace to get the oxidized effect. Then I need 8 oxidized cut copper slabs. There are 8 of those, and then we need stairs. So here's all of our stairs. These will need to be oxidized, and these will need to be further oxidized. Then we need just 3 exposed cut copper slabs and 1 exposed cut copper stair, which means 1 of those is for that, 3 of those are for that. So there's those 2 complete. I can go throw these over here in our chest. So while I'm placing these, and once I am done placing these, we will just kind of quickly speed through everything that is left, and then we can put together this build. Ah, what a beautiful sight to see. All of these things in their rows slowly oxidizing, which means now it is time to speedrun everything else. Here's all of the various glasses, as well as the carpets. Miscellaneous Create stuff with some other useful items, calcite and diorite, mossy cobblestone, chains, and regular cut copper stuff, which just leaves some of our more difficult to achieve items. I mean, these aren't difficult to achieve. These are pretty easy. Let's get these out of the way. These are all smooth black quartz, which we get from our black quartz, obviously. There's our quartz, which brings us to all of our rusty and sheet metal items. We get things like the sheet metal using sheet metal, obviously, which are pretty easy to achieve. And the rusty ones are just as easy. I just have to put them in water. There's all of the sheet metal, except for... that wasn't going to happen. Except for the green sheet metal, which I could easily just use mystical green petals, or I can make a cactus using a slime ball. Thankfully, we have slime. I don't have any made, but we have slime out here. Oh, look at our oxidization. Here's some slime. We can do this. No, we have to burn it. Burn it alive. We can burn our slime here, and then I can take the slime, turn it into a cactus, throw it on a block of snad, and use redstone to very quickly, there we go, very quickly turn it into more cactus. And as simply as putting this here, with that on top, that here, and just turn it on and off. There we go. We have tons of cactus. Here's all of our green sheet metal. Now with only the copper left, really, all the rest of this should be fairly simple to do. Starting with the tough stairs and the andesite blocks. All of these andesite stuff. Andesite is fairly easy if you weren't here in the last episode. I can create andesite using the mana infusion and just throwing stone into a mana pool. So I just need to take a bunch of cobblestone, throw all of this under a fire. Oh yeah, there's the waterfall. And now we have all of our andesite. So we have our polished andesite slabs and stairs. Now I need 54 polished cut andesite. 54 of this into the polished cut andesite. But there's all of our andesite complete. Now I can do the polished cut tough stairs. Tough, of course, we get from deep slate doing the same process. Polished cut tough stairs. There we go. There's 18. Perfect. Out of 11. There we go. Now we can do the polished black stone brick wall. That is also a very easy task. We just need to come use a blackstone machine, which I actually already set up. Fairly easy. It's just blue stone or blue ice, which is 9 of those put into one, and then it's lava. So here's our black stone and our polished blackstone brick wall. How many of those do we need? Need 3. Only need 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And the rest of this, I guess we can find a new spot for. Let's do right. We could do it right there. There we go. Here's our 3 polished black stone. Ash complete. Which means we are pretty much done, except for our copper, which is still taking quite a while. And these conveyor belts. Now, conveyor belts are really cool because they work pretty much exactly like the Create conveyor belts, except for these move on their own. They don't need any kind of wiring or cogs or anything like that. They just move, which is really neat. They are also really easy to make. Like, this seems fairly early game, which is surprising to me since they don't require any kind of power. So we just need to make some of these. These are going to be what we use for some of the automation within the build that we're making for all of the beer, all the alcohol. So we need conveyor belts. We need 23, which is leather. Thankfully, we get leather from rotten flesh that we take to smelt. We just have to smelt this. Well, that's not what that was supposed to make. What is tallow? I figured these... Let's see. Oh, I need to use a redstone furnace or a mana infusion. Oh, I thought I had to burn it. What does tallow make? Now I'm curious. Tallow. Tallow is used for a candle. Okay, so this is pretty much useless. This will go into a chest and never see the light of day. Alrighty, let's go. Let's go do this the proper way then. So I need another stack of you, and we just have to throw this in our mana pool. Or we can just throw it out here and then not use any mana. It takes a lot of power to do it, which means I think I'll just do the rest in the mana pool. 'Cause I'm lazy! There we go. There's all of our leather. Haha. And then we need just some redstone and iron. Okay. So we could do this and that and that. Now, if we go back to belt, what do I need for the vertical? Just iron. So all of these I can turn into conveyor belts. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so here's our belts. We needed how many for 23? 23. There we go. And then how many of the verticals did we need? Just 2. Sweet. So 2 means this and that. And that gives us 3. So 3 and 23. We can cross both of these off of our list. And with those complete, we are pretty much done except for the oxidized copper. But I think I might just leave my computer on overnight, let this all sit and oxidize, and then we can build the build. I'm so excited. This has been like multiple weeks, and I'm very excited to finally get to experience it. I'm pumped. I am pumped. Boom shroom. Let's see, how do we get gunpowder? You do get it from the boom shroom, but can you smelt it? Yes, you can. Here's some. I think we're gonna take a couple of stacks, actually, just to be safe. And then, oh, I guess one thing I could do while I wait for these to oxidize is I can start moving all of the items over to the boat. So I think we can do that first. And then I will wait overnight, and I will catch you guys on the flip side when it is ready to be built. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The time to discover whether or not this will work or end up in a massive mess. I'm really hoping that blocking the light particle blocks did work and it will not create a bunch of holes, but I honestly have no idea if this is going to work or not. So it is time to finally find out. We're going to see if this works. Because once I put the gunpowder inside, it'll just start. It's ready. It's ready. There it goes. There it goes. Here we go. I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited. Alrighty. See you guys on the flip side. I really hope this works. here we are. Here is the build. I added in a couple of extra details, hence this bridge. Just to have a way to get across, I figured an old rickety bridge would be the perfect kind of liminal thing to add in if, like for the lore, if I just stumbled across this thing while exploring the back rooms. I built a bridge over to it once I discovered that I can use it for my technological advancements. Oh yes, here it is, the boat stack. And in here is where we will be conducting our experiments. This is where we can be making all of these, I forget what they're called, but all the beer. And all the beer will come and funnel into this. And then once we have enough of it, now it appears that there may have been some accidental placements. It looks like it placed these wrong, which means I probably will have to not do that. Oh, but that does work. Get off. Do this and then do that. Okay. And do that. Oh, okay, good. These do pick up just by right-clicking with the wrench. I was worried for a second there that these wouldn't pick up with the wrench. But now, we can place them all back in their proper spots. There we go. But yes, this is it. So behind these are the kegs, and these will fill up with water. And this water kind of travels throughout the entire build from the bottom of the ship up to the top. As you can see over here, it kind of goes up the side of the build and then up into the bottom of this boat and through there. Let's see. I don't really have a very easy way to get down. So I'll just have to take the fall the first time. I will have to create a way where I can get up from top to bottom really... Oh, wait a minute. I have a pool down there. I forgot about that. And down we go. Here we are. So this is the bottom of it. I added in some extra blockage to make it look like the bottom floor of a seabed. Lovely, lovely. I quite like this build. I think it's so cool. And then up here, you can see through the windows there. This is where all of the mechanics happens. Down in here, we have a bunch of water wheels that are all powering, and there's a whole gear shaft ratio, as you can see. And it goes across and up through there into the bottom of this boat here. So as you can see, there's a bunch of different boats kind of all stacked on top of each other because they kept no clipping through the world down below. Hence why I turned this into something useful. So then we can drop down, and here is how you can get into this area where I have even more gear ratioing. It comes over to here where there's another pump because the water can only travel up so much at a time. So there's that. Overall, I really like this build. I think it's pretty cool. Definitely a big build. My biggest build yet, as I was saying before I died. But yes, this is probably the biggest thing I've ever built, especially in survival, because I love building in creative mode. But when it comes to survival, this has been probably one of my biggest builds. And even though I used the schematic cannon, I still had to use survival mode to get all of the blocks, which is really what took the longest amount of time. But I am so glad that it is done because, oh boy, does it look good, in my opinion. You guys might not like it, but I absolutely love this thing. I love it so much, and I am so excited to get this thing in progress, or in production rather, because once we have all of the beer, I can actually turn this into an automated spore farm, because then we can take each of those fermenting barrel keg things and use them to automate each of these even faster, and then they would automatically be sorted as well. So yes, I absolutely love this build. I'm very proud of it. And even though because of how big this was, it took a little bit to kind of release this episode, unfortunately, I do think the time was worth it because, it's beautiful. I love it so much. But yes, it is complete. It is done. And I will be automating the eye, but I think I'm actually going to save that for the next episode simply because that would add in probably a whole nother day's worth of work. And so I want to save that because this video is already taken way too long to release. But now that it is released, next episode, I think I'm going to create an automatic wheat farm down there because all you need for beer is wheat and wheat seeds. So if we create a pretty fast wheat farm down there with the Create mod, then we can take those wheat and wheat seeds and put them up here and then automate the beer and hopefully get the eye. I'm so excited. This is going to be such a blast. This has been such a blast. Getting to make this has been amazing. I'm very happy to see that the building up all the cobblestone worked because that took almost 2 days in of itself. And so if that hadn't have worked, that would have been really depressing for me just because I don't know, it was a lot of cobblestone to place and then break, and so if it didn't actually save the build, then that would have been severely depressing. I might show a picture or a video after I say goodbye here of how it looks and then cut back to the farewell. But yes, it was honestly super scary when I started printing it out in the other world, thinking that it might not work here. So I'm so glad that the cobblestone worked, and I'm so glad that this worked. If you guys did enjoy this, if you enjoyed this build, if you enjoyed this video where it was kind of a longer video, kind of more done in the video, then feel free to like and subscribe. I don't usually say that, but I am just so overjoyed with this that I am willing to put myself out there and ask for just a subscription or a like. But yeah, I think this is where we are going to end it, and I will see you all in the next episode. I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed getting to watch as this thing kind of formed from the ground up, as it kind of got 3D printed. I thought that was super cool. But until next time, until we create the forged eye, I will see you all, and I hope you all have a fantastic week or weeks. See you all in the next one. Bye-bye.